Hey guys, today we are going to be going through a haul, not really a recent haul. I have had these books in a pile in my closet for several months now, just because I did not have room on my bookshelves previously. Now you can see the bookshelves are pretty much all being emptied. This is all that's left. I've got these four tiny little shelves right there that I still need to unpack. But before I can put all the books into storage, I need to get all the books out. That's including the ones I've been hoarding in my closet. So let's go through them now. This is a nice surprise for me as well because I have forgotten that I purchased a lot of these books. So it's kind of like I'm rebuying them and it's a nice little surprise. So let's go through all the books that I bought that I forgot about. First book we have is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Ninth House, I believe. I am taking that book with me to the new apartment, so I will be taking this one as well because I want to dedicate a few weeks. Oh, is that embossed? Oh, that's cool. For Dark Academia, and I think these definitely fit the bill. So, number one. Next is a book that I read late in life, I guess you could say. Most people, I think, read this in high school where it's required reading. It was not in my high school, so I discovered this late, and that is Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. Love that short story. It is so good, so popular for a reason. This is the authorized graphic novel adaptation, which I did not know existed, but was a really cool find. Next, we have All the Lovers in the Night. I do have this author's other book, Breasts and Eggs, I think it's called. This is a translated work. I do want to read this. It's also really pretty. The Favorite Game by Leonard Cohen. Love Leonard Cohen's writing so much. I think he has such a way with words. However, I'm not really crazy about his voice, so it is perfect that I find one of his books. Next is probably one of the prettiest covers ever, The Water Cure. And look at the spine too. It's so pretty. I think they made a movie out of this several years ago, but I might be confusing that with someone else. I'm pretty sure this is some sort of like psychological horror book. Really pretty. V.E. Schwab, The Near Witch. I'm about to read a trilogy by V.E. Schwab, what's the magic one? Not a discovery of magic. I'm confusing a discovery of witches with, what is it called? You know what trilogy I'm talking about. So here's this one. I believe this is a standalone, which I love. I was super excited to find this one because I never see this in any sort of thrift stores, and this is How You Lose the Time War. This sounds like such a bizarre book. It's like blue and red, two rival agents hell-bent on securing the best possible future for their warring factions strike up an unlikely correspondence. And I guess they fall in love. That sounds so weird. I want to read it. Devil in the Details. This, I believe, is a memoir about someone struggling with, I don't know if it's OCD. I do struggle with OCD as well, so I don't know if this is going to be good for me to read. Probably should have thought about that. Next is Bright Young Women. I know this is about a serial killer. Don't know anything else, but I'm hoping it's the women who defeat the serial killer. I don't know. Next, I purchased Fear and Trembling. You can see I got it for 95 cents. I don't really know what this is about. I think it's set in Japan. The woman who wrote it, I think lived in Japan or was born in Japan, but I think she's from, it says she's Belgian by nationality, so I don't know if it has anything to do with her experience there or not. We have State of Wonder by Anne Pratchett. To Paradise, which I really need to read. What's the first book that this author wrote? The really long one that is on my list. The really depressing one. I'm taking it with me. A Little Life. I'm gonna read that one first, depending on how much I like it. We'll see if I can continue into this one. Next book that I purchased is called The Hour of the Star. I'm trying to hold it where that stupid ring light doesn't show, but it's not doing very well. This is also a translated work. It's really short, so I figured this would be a good one for me to keep like in my backpack and just take on the subway. I don't know too much about it. However, the introduction is by an author I do recognize. And it says it's about an underfed, unattractive, and unloved typist who lives in the slums of Rio. Next book, we have Under Lock and Key. By the cover, you can tell this is a romance novel. You guys know, typically I don't go for much straight romance. However, I'm pretty sure the male love interest can transform into the Loch Ness Monster, which is interesting. Next, we have The Half Moon. I don't remember what it's about. The Dark and Other Love Stories, which is an awesome title. Is this a collection of short stories? If so, why did I buy it? Okay, this is why I bought it. The characters in these 13 masterful and engaging stories exist on the edge of danger where landscapes melt into dreamscapes and every house is haunted. It doesn't take too much to get me to buy a book, and I think that one sentence. Oh! Also, Emily St. John Mandel wrote a review and she really liked it, and I really like her stuff. It doesn't always work out for me. Next is When the Moon Was Ours. This is magical realism. I really enjoy magical realism. The author wrote The Weight of Feathers. If I'm remembering it correctly, is that the book that I really, really loved a few years back? Or am I confusing that with something else? I'm confusing it with something else. I'm thinking of The Strange Something Ava Lavender. The Strange, what was the name of that book? I don't remember. That's what I'm thinking of because the girl had wings. This is just The Weight of Feathers. I just thought feathers, wings, it fit. Next, we have We Go Liquid, also a cool title, really short. Again, I tend to try and pick up recently books that I feel like I can just take on the subway or on the train with me. A boy receives an email from his mother offering free movie tickets shortly after her death. He recognizes it for spam but wishes she'd really sent it. He responds and is soon barraged with offers for male enhancement drugs, home appliances, mortgages, and everything else he never knew he needed by way of the afterlife. Soon he and his father are swallowing all manner of black market pharmaceuticals, somehow growing closer together as they fall apart, each in his own way. That sounds bizarre and kind of amazing. Oh, look, and it's, oh, no, that's where I bought it, Unabridged Bookstore. I was like, oh, I got a free, gosh, why are words so difficult for me today? Bookmark. No, well, I guess it is free. It came with the purchase. Next really brightly covered book is You'd Look Better as a Ghost. I think this is about two serial killers meeting. Yep. We have The Rabbit Hutch, which is a National Book Award winner. That's usually all it takes for me to buy the book, is if I see that it won that. The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. Don't know why I purchased all of these romance novels, but I did, so I'm gonna have to dedicate maybe like 2 weeks and just stuff as many romance novels as I can in there. I found a few book of the month choices. First one is Age of Vice, and then we also have Happiness Falls, which is freaking cool cover. Look at that. The Last Namsara. I feel like I had this back in Delaware and I unhauled it. Oh boy. But I think it's about dragons. How can you not pick up a book about dragons? Next book I think I'm going to have to take with me to read for Halloween, Inspection. What a creepy looking building. I think this is about a boarding school in the middle of the woods. There's only like 10 or 20 students there. They're all supposed to be geniuses. I don't know if people start dying or weird things start happening. Maybe both. Another potential horror pick for Halloween, Jackal. I don't know if this is sci-fi horror or if this is just straight horror, but I've heard good things about it. Another horror pick. Gosh, I'm getting so many good horror books. The Salt Grows Heavy. Awesome. I did read a different book by Cassandra called Nothing But Blackened Teeth. All the books are really short, which is sometimes just perfect for like a nice, scary little read. I'm hoping that's what this is. Next we have the Mere Wife or Mare Wife. I don't know, but Emily Wilson, who recently translated the Odyssey, likes it a lot. I think it's some sort of mythological retelling. I'm always down for some sort of mythological retelling. Tilt-A-Whirl. Is this another scary one? A billionaire real estate tycoon is found murdered on a tilt-a-whirl at a seedy seaside amusement park. Say that fast. In the otherwise quiet summer tourist town of Sea Haven, New Jersey. Anytime I read about something weird or bizarre or a murder happening at like an amusement park or a carnival, something just tells me to pick it up. The Measure. Don't remember what it's about. We have some Neil Gaiman. This is Anansi Boys. Out of all of his works, I think this is the one I hear the least about. So I actually don't know what it is about, but I'm sure it is some weird, bizarre. Brother Spider is on his doorstep. I'm still waiting for the Neverwhere sequel. Poetry by Rilke. Next is Tram 83. This is also a translated work. I think it's translated from French. Yep, translated from French. It takes place, I believe, in Africa, though. We have The Hellbound Heart, Clive Barker. Clive Barker, I still know as a director, right? Hellraiser. Was he a writer first and then he became a director? Or did he not even direct Hellraiser and I'm just assuming that he did? An accomplished artist, film producer, screenwriter, and director. Okay, so he did everything. The Right to Write, I write, and sometimes I need help with it. Storm Dancer, this is by Jay Kristoff. We're so close to the end, guys. We have Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I have not read that one either. Oh gosh, I've got a lot of Neil Gaiman. Fragile Things, I've not heard of this one. Is this a collection of short stories? Please tell me it's not. I think it is. Why do I buy short story collections? I typically don't like them. The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. I heard this is similar to some of Frederick Bachman's books, like My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry. I really hope so. That book made me feel so good. Well, so sad, but so good as well. I just like reading about older people who think they're at the end of their life and then they discover this like second wind and they decide to go out and into the world and do all these things that they've been putting off for years. Next we have Vampires of El Norte. El Norte? I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. I'm probably butchering it. The Adventures of Amina Al... Oh gosh, why am I butchering everything? Amina Al-Sirafi? If that cover doesn't make you buy the book, then what will you buy? California? Another awesome cover. What are you about again? The world Cal and Frida have always known is gone, and they've left the crumbling city of Los Angeles far behind them. They now live in a shack in the wilderness. So is this like after some sort of like apocalyptic thing happens, or are we just talking about like current LA type crumbling? I don't know. I'm guessing it's the former. And then the final book we have Pull Me Under. What a creepy, what a creepy cover. And since when did they put those on there? Like just stamped on there like that? I'm guessing this is a horror book. If it's not, I'm gonna be disappointed. I think this takes place in, okay, so initially Japan and then the US. Someone's trying to outrun her murderous past. Okay, done. So those are all the books that I've purchased, I would say in the past like 6 or 7 months. For me, That's not bad. I am slowly improving. I do need to go through now and decide which ones are going to be coming with me to the new apartment. I want to take like 80% of them. That's not going to work. And which ones I need to pack up to go to storage in Michigan. Realistically, I need to be realistic about this. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me for this final haul in this apartment. I am sure I will have many more hauls in my new apartment. Hopefully not quite this many though. I'm going to really try. I've been doing good lately. When I go to the bookstore, I'll let myself buy like one book. Sometimes I leave without a book, which for me is progress. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll let you go and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.